this is Jess back with another video. Probably can maybe tell, I don't know, maybe not tell. I'm almost 30 weeks pregnant. I'm in month 7 of my pregnancy. Ethel's in here chilling with me, but currently rearranging the room right now so I can go through all the baby stuff and condensing all of my stuff, seeing what I'm going to get rid of, etc. So, sitting on the floor, figured that I would bring up some of the very well-loved books that my daughter and I read and I purchased when she was little. She's gonna be 4, so some of these books she's grown out of and we haven't read in a while. We do go over them because now she used to sign a lot more than she does now. She's not currently living with me, she's living with her dad. We are almost at the end of our divorce, so she might be coming to live with me soon. So I plan on going over those books a little bit more with her, more than I normally do, just because I feel like her level of sign language is not to where I want it to be. She knew a lot more signs when we were living together, and it now seems that she has lost some of that. They're all good books for English, American Sign Language, and some of them, most of them, are Spanish as well. So with my next child, who will be here in August, I plan on also teaching them English, American Sign Language, and Spanish. They're really good books, and I intend on keeping them. Most of them I got on Amazon. Some of them I got through thrift stores or friends have given me, but a majority of them are through Amazon. And I can provide links if you want them. Just put in the comments below which specific book, because I bought this so long ago, I don't know where the links are right now. Some of the books, like you will see here, this one was given to me. It's a bit older, but some of them are for parents, or like the adult guardian, whatever. And I have magic cards and stuff falling out of here. Some are for the child. Some of these books were mentioned in my other language video. It's on the Yesenia's language journey playlist. I don't have my hearing aids in, so it's very difficult for me to understand myself because I have an air conditioner going. I've been going through this phase because I am pregnant, that I'm having hot flashes and I'm cold the next minute, so just bear with me. The first one I wanted to go through was this one. It's just a little book I got from a thrift store. It is called Love, I Love You All the Time by Emma Dodd, D-O-D-D. This has, you know, a story mostly consisting of sentences that begin with love or have love as the main word in them. And this is really good because it provides repetition. Just preface this, I am by no means a teacher. I am by no means an educator or things like that. This is just things that I've learned through parenting my child and how I intend to parent my next child with books and stuff. These have helped me a lot. These have helped my daughter a lot with her Spanish and her signing. You know, English is our first language for both me and her dad, so I mean, well, Spanish is technically his first language, but we both predominantly use English with our child. This is a really good book. It has pictures, and it's pretty easy to follow. If you're a fluent Spanish speaker, this is really easy to convert into Spanish. If you're an English speaker, it's in English already. And then for ASL, very simple, straightforward. So that's that one. And then this one, it's called El Libro Rojo. Again, I'm by no means a fluent Spanish speaker. It's called The Red Book in English. It's Kumquat is the name of the book store. Apparently it's also available on the Apple Store. There's also different books on the back here. You can see there's a series. Same with this one. This is one of 4. It's just a book about red items. It has English and Spanish, which is great. You have both languages right here. You can switch between them with your child, or you can just use one. Pictures, very minimal wording, which is great for young children. Next one is, I'm going to go through kind of most of the Spanish books that I have here, which is Colors, Colores. Same, very straightforward. That's what I like about these books. Oh, sorry, Ethel scared the daylights out of me. Image, and then text in English, Spanish. Very easy bilingual book. One of my daughter's, probably like one of her favorite books, It's by Scholastic, but I like this one because you can also, because it's English and Spanish, small minimal sentence structure here, you can use ASL. So that's perfect. Those are books that I reached for a lot when my daughter was less than a year old. We have this one as well. Same, I'm not going to go over this too much because it's the same as the other ones, but instead of colors, it's sounds, baby sounds. And if I'm pronouncing this correctly, Los Sonidos del Bebé. Still working on my pronunciation. I understand and I can read and write fluently in Spanish. Speaking, on the other hand, is a different story because one, I can't hear as well, and two, I'm very nervous when I speak because I was made fun of by people, so I'm working on it. I use Spanish at work now. Spanish I am working on at work because there's a lot of Spanish speaking customers and children, which these books are also perfect for if you work with children, like I do. I bring some of these in sometimes. This is the book. This is Pots and Pans, and then right here it has in Spanish, has the sounds here in Spanish and in English. Some pictures. It's great for young kids. One of the books that I used with my daughter a lot when she was younger. I'm still using it actually. It's very well loved, as you can see. I got it at a thrift store. And she's drawn on it a bit. It is by Aurora Capapote, I think is her last name, how you pronounce it. But it's Let's Learn Spanish, First Words for Everyone. Pictures, it's kind of like a little point and see like book. So you have like neck, hair, foot, things like that. And then you have the vegetables here. There's, I mean, a variety of things in here that you can go over with your kid, and it's not just when they're little. I mean, some of these are more advanced for, you know, for a baby. So I use this a lot with my daughter who's almost 4. Like for instance here, they have stuff you would find at school, El Libro. I don't like complication because it causes, at least with my child, it causes some confusion, and I just think that learning vocabulary is key when they're that little. Like sentence structure is, again, very important, but when they can only string together like very seldom words, stuff like that comes in handy. I'm moving more towards the English ASL books, but I'm going to just go over the last couple Spanish books I have. So these are called Habi. I got these on Amazon. They're English and Spanish, and there's actually a Chinese version, English to Chinese, for both of these. And I'm trying to think of where it is. Oh, here it is. Okay, so there's also this thing that goes along with it. I do not have that. I did not purchase that. I just purchased it because I really like the book structure. But there's actually a little like wand thing here that you can buy, or you can buy in a set with these books, and it reads them out loud. It plays both languages, and you tap it to it. It can make like sound effects and phrases. It's illustrated by Sarah Sung, and then it tells you the voice of who, I guess, voices this little wand thing. This is very well loved as well. There's a lot of marks in here, but has a little conversation, like sentence structure. Is great for, I'd say, like probably like 2.5 to where my daughter is now, at almost 4 years old. There's hello, hola, times, holidays, Happy New Year, Feliz Año Nuevo. Then we have the emotions one. I got this because I really want to teach my daughter like feelings early on. As you can see from my other videos on this channel, I am bipolar. We are not too sure if there's anything going on with my daughter. Not bipolar, but any sensory issues or anything like that. So I thought this would be a really good book before I even had her to purchase, and now I think it's a great idea even more. Same thing, has a little wand you can use if you purchase it. Me, I just like using these how they are as books. But this one has like I feel sad, has little pictures. This is tap this page from top to bottom to hear 6 sentences in both language, which is English and Spanish. The other one is English and Chinese. I feel calm. These are phrases that me and her dad use all the time with her, as well as her abuelito, so it's a perfect book for toddlers. It's great for them to show and express emotion, especially when they don't have full-blown sentence structures like you would find in a 3rd grader, you know? Sorry, Ethels. Ethel's over here sniffing all the books. This one I also got at the thrift store. All of these, again, you can find on Amazon, though. I've looked them up. They're very cheap. If you buy the pre-used books on there, if you look for very good, new, or even good most of the time as the qualifiers or like the filters, you can find all of these books in like pristine condition. People sell them back to Amazon and you can find them dirt cheap. I mean, I can find these books all day for under $3. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can get them shipped to your house the next day. So highly recommend Amazon. Also, if you're a mom that is a student going through school, you can get Amazon Prime for half off. So works out. But again, Gently, well, I wouldn't say Gently in this case. I've had it on my bookshelf a long time, so pretty much used. I got it for $5 at the thrift store. This one's La Noche en que tú naciste. This is not a book that I personally read to my daughter. This is one that her dad reads to her, and that I guess just got tossed in with my stuff when we moved. It's completely in Spanish. Has some pictures in it, more like in-depth, more involved. I would definitely say it is more for her father than me, because like I said, I'm not a native Spanish speaker. It's still something that if you're an intermediate speaker and stuff like that, you'll understand. However, I mean, you know, I would just kind of go along and read this and he would correct me and it would help me as well as my daughter learn. So it's kind of for both of us. And this one I haven't read to my daughter yet. I bought this, again at a thrift store, $3. It's a Spanish book. It's completely in Spanish, as is the other one. I bought these books, most of the ones that were Spanish solely or only in Spanish were for her father to read to her, so that she could understand from a native speaker's point of view. And then for the ones that are like kind of, I guess I would say simpler, those ones were for me to teach her Spanish words and vocabulary as well as like ASL signs at the same time. This is a way more in-depth. It has like activities in the back and stuff like that, pictures, so it's still engaging. But yeah, this one is about, you know, adoption and things like that. I think it might be interesting for Jay to read in the future, because like I said, I am having a second child. Me and my first child's father were not together anymore, but Jay, who is my second child's father, he is half Mexican, he speaks Spanish, so this will be perfect. These books I can still, you know, have somebody read to them even though I'm not at that level, and probably will be for, I would say, a while, because yeah, I've put that on a halt. I've been learning more ASL than I have Spanish since my hearing loss. The rest of the ones I have here are going to be in English. Some of them are more advanced, some of them are still on the like baby toddler level. I think I want to go through this. So this is a binder. It looks really rough all over the place, but trust me, it's very good for especially a school age, like preschool, kindergarten age child. I got this on Mercari, and Mercari is a buying website. It's kind of like eBay or Amazon, but it's more so for people, like, it's kind of a cross between Etsy. Like, people make stuff and sell it on there. So this I got when my daughter was first born, so this is almost 4 years ago. A lady was making these, and I bought one off of her, and they can customize them. However, I didn't know what gender I was having at the time. And even what we were going to name her. So I got it and didn't customize it very much, but it's still the same gist, it's still the same format. So here, my daughter has taken some of the stuff out of here and I haven't put it back together, so forgive me, but so here we have, it's an English and Spanish binder. It's mostly, you know, Spanish, predominantly in Spanish, but I bought this for her because her dad is a native speaker. He grew up with two parents who, they're both from Guatemala. So he and his siblings grew up speaking Spanish and learning English when they went to school. So now my daughter, like I said, she is learning English, Spanish, ASL. She still does speak Spanish with her grandparents. And this is like perfect for people, maybe if they want to like bridge that gap, because I know some people who do have Spanish speaking parents, they're not native Spanish speakers. My ex-husband was very fortunate that he was able to learn Spanish as well as he did. There are some people that I went to school with that are, I think it's second generation, I guess you would say. Their parents are from El Salvador or whatever, and they can't really speak it that well. So stuff like this could help with, the child speaking with other family members and you actually learning some, knowledge with them. So this is the alphabet, and these are just printed. This is not by far, this is not the best one that you could get. I got it for fairly cheap because I didn't know if I'd use it or not. I didn't have a child at that point. So, but there's much better looking ones and things like that. This is just in a school binder. This is usually personalized with the name and stuff like that. But like I said, I didn't know what gender I was having. This is all of the alphabet and some pictures and stuff to go with it. Some words in Spanish. The vowels you could probably customize, or even so they gave me this blue dry erase marker. You could probably buy your own dry erase markers and color these the correct colors. But yeah, this is like blue, and then it has the Spanish word for blue, etc. Here, my daughter, she scribbled all over it, but it says muchas gracias. And I guess that's like a coloring page. And then here, this is perfect if your kid's gonna go to school. This is alphabet, and it's a practice chart. Here we have all of the numbers up to 100 with the first, I'm gonna say, what was it, first 30? Can't even see. Sorry, first 99 actually. Right here. We have the shapes and some charting here that you can have your kid draw them the correct way. Colors again, but with pictures and color coordinated words. And then this one, my daughter also it's scribbled all over, but has gracias on there. This is the shapes as well. Spanish alphabet and actually how to say them or sound them out. Some numbers here that they can trace. Oh, and this is, my daughter also scribbled all over these, so forgive this, but it says me llamo, and then that's her name, Yesenia. I put that there, and she scribbled all over it. And then what you can't see here is the days of the week in Spanish and English. And then here they are, just in Spanish. So I find this very helpful. I think it'll be even more helpful when she goes to school. Here, the school system, at least where I live and where I intend on putting her in school, once our divorce and everything's finalized, if she lives with me, they teach English, Spanish, and ASL, which is perfect. So that will come in handy. I'm gonna go into the English to ASL books. Well, English books that I use also for ASL. We have 3 books here from her doctor's office that they gave us. This is Baby Elephant. This is just the numbers, and they can, carry it. And then this is Sleepy Farm. This is my personal favorite just because there's glitter on it. But this one is Baby Elephant. It's by Paper Craft. It's illustrated by Marie Simpson, and just has some sentences in here. They're rhyming sentences, and it just talks about an elephant. I can't speak. Yeah, just a very straightforward English book. This one I don't use too much for signing because, there are some like signs in here that my daughter could probably understand, but like I said, her sign language has kind of regressed since me moving out of the house, so I don't use it too much anymore. This is Sleepy Farm. She really likes this book. And it just talks about, at night, has little flaps that you can pull out, but this is really good because it has like repetitive rhyming stuff, so it's really good for signing. And then we have numbers. This one's good for teaching them numbers in ASL. It's kind of like the Spanish books where it's, the word, in this case the number, and then it gives you a sentence with a picture. And then this one also has prompts on here, like can you stomp like me? And then, you can have your child do that. This one says stand up tall, has 2 giraffes on here. You can also use these because they're so straightforward with Spanish. If you understand Spanish and you can translate on the fly, because this one doesn't have Spanish in it, you can do that too. This is one I bought. It was on my registry. Didn't have a baby shower really, so I bought it for myself on Amazon. I think you have to buy, so for Amazon, if you have a registry, if you buy one thing on there, I think that costs more than like $10, which I bought a few things, so it worked out. But if you buy something that's worth like $10 or more, you actually get a baby box. So if you sign up for that and then you don't even use it for a registry and you just buy something yourself, you can get a baby box. So that's what I did. I bought a few books, I bought a few clothing items, and this was one of the ones I got. It's called Stack the Cats. I have a lot of other books, but I kind of divided them when we sold our house and everything. So he has some of the books with the cats in them, and then this is one I saved. And this is just like, it's I don't even know how to pronounce this woman's name, to be quite honest, but it's just a book with cats and counting and stuff like that. I like it. It's very colorful. I don't know, I like the art style, and that it's super straightforward and also really good because when babies are younger, the whole color blocking thing in black and white, so it's perfect. I also have some other books that are not in here that are for specifically like for babies, black and white books and shapes and things like that I'm going to use with my other child once they arrive. But they're not in here, but I did use them with Yessie, and I can provide the links if you are in the market for some good black and white. They don't have any like sentence structure or anything like that. They're just for infants and newborns. So if you want those, let me know in the comments. This is another book I bought off of Amazon, and I bought these both. So the one I showed you and this one, they're in pretty decent condition, and I bought them for only a few dollars used. So this is the Crayons Book of Feelings, and it's Drew Daywalt and Oliver Teffers. And it's just a very whimsical book. I love the fonts and the illustrations on here. This is definitely something I would have picked up if I was a child. So very straightforward, talks about feelings, has colored, crayons, crayon box, stuff like that. And it has happy on here, which is a great sign for little ones to use. Has the color orange and a little crayon, and very straightforward, like I said. That is going to be the phrase of of this video, is very straightforward. What else to call children's books that are like that? Very structured, I guess. This one I'll introduce first, and then I'll go through these. This one my daughter does like. She's actually been using this recently when she's over. It's called Around the Farm by Eric Carle. This is the same person that did the Hungry Caterpillar. Yeah, so here's the other ones on here. But it's a sound book. She got this for her birthday, I want to say from her aunt. But it has little prompts here, like sentences. The bull is strong, and then it has the colored box with the animal in it, and you can push it over here, and it makes the sound. But yeah, I like this. It's very colorful. It reminds me of like paper mache, because I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be, or like a collage, I mean. Yeah, I love these books growing up, the Hungry Caterpillar and stuff like that, so I thought that was cool. She got that for her like second or third birthday, I think. We have the ones that my daughter doesn't really reach for, but I still have. They're a little more advanced, and I don't think she'll really go through these until about kindergarten or the end of preschool. But I have this one. It's called Love You Forever. This one has more of a structured paragraph format on here, and it has some, nice illustrated, very like 90s-esque pictures. So I don't know, I like this one. I like books that teach children feelings, emotions, and kindness. I picked these ones up. I'm gonna show you all three of these actually, and these are like one of the last ones that I'm gonna show you for this. But I picked up all of these at Target, and usually I go to Target, Walmart, what's the other one, Barnes & Noble. I'll go there and I'll browse around, and I'll actually make a list and go on Amazon and buy them for cheaper for the used books, because they're just as good to me. And I mean, when you have a child that's probably going to scribble in them like I did when I was younger, and a lot of the books I actually have for my daughter from when I was younger are all scribbled in from me and my sister, you know, going on there is the better bargaining, more cost-effective option. So I got these though at Target because I could not resist. They always have like a section in the front for inclusive and like diverse. This one is Black Music Greats. It's 10 inspiring icons. And then this one is Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History. And then this is one called Another, and it has a girl and a cat. That's why I bought this one. I like this one too because you can use it for infants, because a lot of it is in bold, drastic color schemes, color changes. It has a lot of black and white. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have words at all. Yeah. So I thought it was really neat, and I picked it up when she was about a year old. These are two that I have not read to her yet because they have information in here that is very much more structured. I would say like adult, preteen friendly. What's the other word I'm looking for here? They have like little biographies. That would be good for her when she goes to school. There's some of the more well-known people in here, like Harriet Tubman. It's like a really nice illustrated book. I really enjoyed it. And they always have good stuff in this section. This is where I got a lot of her Hispanic heritage and Hispanic culture t-shirts. They have all different diverse, very child friendly as well. Things like that with books. And she had two shirts. I bought her these shirts. Same shirt but in different sizes because I loved it so much. And it was different pictures of things you would find in like Spanish culture for foods and like just little items like arepas and conchas and horchata. I thought it was really nice, so I bought her a second one because I seen it on clearance one day and I was like, she's gonna grow out of this one so soon, so I'm gonna buy her another one. They were in the same section as these. So the Black Music Greats, different illustration, I mean a different artist completely, but I just love it. It's so it's like corporate illustration meets like child illustration. I don't know, I just really like it. It's very simple, and it gives you all of the biography information, and also gives you, I'm pretty sure, it gives you a little bit of information on Bob Marley was attacked and stuff like that. But yeah, it has all different discographies on here, greatest hits, stuff about his concerts. And it also has like, look on here, dreadlocks, the colors and why they are as they are, for like red, gold, green, the Ethiopian flag. There's some poets in here, NWA. So yeah, I thought this was cool. Moving on, these are the books. Specifically, they are sign language books. They're all sign language books actually. I don't have Spanish books very much because most of them went with my ex-husband to his house, but these are my ASL books that I have acquired even before my daughter was born. I started having hearing loss when I was about 21. I'm 28 now, and it's been very slow, but it has picked up over the past couple of years. I have hearing aids now. Still doesn't, my hearing's going to diminish. It still doesn't negate the fact that I might have to use ASL solely one day. My dad is very, very deaf and does not use hearing aids, so I have to consistently repeat myself to him, and it would be so much more of a help if he knew ASL, but we don't live in a perfect world. So with my daughter, I figured too, maybe if he sees me and my daughter using ASL, maybe he'll pick up on it a little bit more. I don't know. So I have these books here. This is a book I got off of Amazon. This is for children. It's a little more advanced than those books, so I use it in conjunction with my daughter, and signing to her and stuff. I don't just like actively give this to her to look at. It's kind of a dictionary of sorts. It gives you why, what, who, how, different, like a ball. So there's some easy signs, there's some signs that babies can pick up on a little bit easier, and then there's some signs that older kids might use more often. So yeah, I mean, even like with this help, or a perfect example, when we had our dog, Copper, when I was still living with my ex-husband, I taught our dog how to sit by signing sit in ASL. So for that, my daughter, she wanted to learn, and she wasn't using the correct sign and the correct hand gestures. So I used this book, and I would show her the sign in here, and I would continuously repeat it. She finally caught on and was teaching our dog sign language. So that was cool. I picked up these two books by myself, but I have these from a friend. So I used to babysit her kid, Lily, and her kid is not hard of hearing, but my friend, her name's Chrissy, her aunt had high fever, or some type of I think it was measles. She lived in Germany at the time when she was younger, and they didn't bring her to a hospital, or they didn't have access to a hospital, so she lost her hearing. So she is completely deaf, I want to say, and uses captioning and things like that. She doesn't know too many signs. She knows basic signs. She is older. She just never had, I guess, either the time or the opportunity to learn sign language. So she had these books lying around. Chrissy was her aunt that was deaf. So she had these around the house, and her daughter, who I was also friends with, they used these to learn sign language. And when I started having my hearing loss, I would go over there and I'd babysit for her when she was at work, and she'd be like, hey, if you want to like look through my books or whatever you want to do, go ahead. And I seen these one day, and I was like, this is perfect for me. So I went and looked through them. She's like, hey, you can actually keep them. So I said, okay, cool. So I've had these for a really long time. I've had these probably for like 7 years now. This is just a dictionary. These are a little bit outdated. You can find them on Amazon. This one I know you can find on Amazon. It's a second edition, The Joys of Signing. And this one, I don't even know where I found this. I found it online somewhere, but it's a dictionary, and it has very outdated, just very simplistic diagrams of the signs. So it's a little harder to follow. This is definitely not a book that I would intend on using for children learning sign language. I think that they would benefit more from just being taught the signs by you or whoever is teaching them. But this is really good if you want to look something up and then go online to, I think his name is Bill Vickers, if I'm remembering correctly. He has all of the signs on his website, on YouTube, stuff like that. So I usually I'll look in here if I want to find something specific, and then I'll go look on there and see what the correct sign is, because this, like I said, could be outdated or is outdated. So I go on there and I look up the proper or new edition sign. So yeah, same with this. But this one is, I don't know, I like this one a little better. This one I like though, because that one is more of a dictionary. I mean, it is straightforward, a dictionary. This one is grouped by this one for location and direction. If you go to another page, quality, kind, and condition. So this one has different synonyms and adjectives: beautiful, pretty, lovely, gorgeous, stuff like that. So this one, like I said, probably outdated still, because some of these signs I feel like overlap when there's actually a more specific sign that you can use nowadays. ASL's language is always evolving, just like everything else. And also where you live, your location, what part of the country you live in, stuff like that. That all determines the signs. So, or at least from what I've been told in classes and stuff, and by other deaf signers. These are two that I purchased on my own. This is a more updated version. This is Learning Sign Language, and then this is a phrase book. This is more advanced for people that already are, I would say, intermediate to sign language. This is the sentence structure or sign structure, I guess. I'm not too familiar with the terminology. I did take a few formal classes, but they were more focused on getting you signing rather than the actual connotations and dynamic of everything. That's usually for like sign language 3 and 4 and more advanced interpreting certificates, stuff like that. So yeah, but this has sentences in here. This is civics. I am a Democrat. I am a Republican. I am an independent. Let's see what else there is in here. It also has signs, though. This is perfect because it depicts like an actual full-blown person, not just the hand gestures, for all day, night, all night, noon, stuff like that. Monthly, yearly, last year. You get the point. I'm just flipping through these very quickly because my focus is more so on the children's books than these, but these are really good if you want to teach your child sign language and you don't want to use the baby sign language books. That is my most irritating thing. They have all these books for baby sign and sign language for babies, and it's not, from what I've gathered from other deaf, hard of hearing people, they're not that much the signs are not much different than what you would do for an actual just ASL conversation. Baby sign sometimes is more simplistic in the sign language community or in the deaf community. A lot of people rag on it because these signs can be wrong, or the majority of the books that I've seen on there have the wrong sign connotations for like the diagrams and stuff. So and also a majority of them, not all of them, but a majority of those baby sign books I've seen are made by hearing people that don't have hearing loss, or they are not deaf. They're not born deaf. They did not become deaf. So I wouldn't really go after those. I would go after stuff like this. At least this is what I've been told, is by actual people who know their stuff. Baby sign language books are not that great. I have not purchased not one of them, except for maybe, I guess you would consider, where'd it go? I guess you would consider that like first book I showed you, the American Sign Language for Kids. It's like a nonverbal communication, ASD, which is like autism spectrum disorder. They have like some note cards and stuff you can get. I mean, they're okay, like I said, for beginning, but I would really pick up an actual adult book, like a book intended for adults if you're gonna learn or show your children sign language. This one is Learn American Sign Language. It's by James W. Guido. It has a table of contents. This is why I really like this book. I got this on Amazon, very, very cheap, and it was not in the beat up condition it is now. It was very much nicer. Got it for maybe $10, and has introduction, the alphabet, numbers, stuff like that. And then it also gives you a background into why the things that are being taught are like they are. Aneurysms, stuff like that. It's perfect. I like these books a lot better than the baby sign language books. So even though my daughter will probably not be flipping through this, I will be, and it'll help me out when I'm teaching her the signs. It also shows you here the correct, hand structure that you need for the alphabet and the numbers and things like that. So it's very good. So yeah, that's all the books I have. If you need any of these books, please feel free to private message me on Facebook, on Instagram, on my YouTube channel. You can comment on there. But yeah, all of these books can help your child with language acquisition, and they're just great. I don't know what else to say about them. I'm not trying to have a hard sell here. I just really like them. I have some that you can use from the time that they're newborn infant until they are a toddler, until they are school age. It is perfect. I love these books. I have a lot more that I can't find right now because, like I said, my house it's a dumpster fire here. I am trying to figure out, like, logistically where I'm going to put everything to make it the most efficient, organized, open, structured room, living room, etc. for us right now. And then we are going to move around the time the baby gets here, or a little bit after, depending on if the rental is ready, for my daughter to have her own room, and then us be with the baby for a couple of years. That's what I did with my daughter. She was in our room for a while. So yeah, I'm just trying to make do with what I have right now. And then aside from these books, stuff like I said in my other video, which will be linked with this video, it's called Yesenia's Language Journey, where I talk about stuff like that, and a few different books that are not included here. I think that just being out in the real world, bringing them to places like I have on my channel, where it's toddler activities, Please Touch Museum, Great stuff there. You can learn that, well, they can learn about cooking, colors, all of that you can use as a learning tool. And what I mean by that, sorry, I have heartburn because I'm 7 months pregnant. What I mean by that is when I bring her to these places, like the Please Touch Museum, that one's in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania. I live in New Jersey, so it's not too far. When I bring her there, I sign to her. I do use Spanish, and I interchange it. Sometimes, like the first visit, I did solely ASL because that's what I was trying to hone in on, because I was in the transition of like moving out of our home and she was with her dad. So I wanted to just make sure her ASL skills were still sharp, which unfortunately they're not anymore, but I'm going to work on it. And then the second time I did both. I did English, I did all three, English, ASL, and Spanish. It's a good opportunity, just get them out, museum, park, what is that over there, a dog, and say it in, ASL, say it in Spanish, stuff like that. I think that it's really good. My daughter picks up on a lot. She even herself now points out colors, she points out animals, she'll point out vegetables, things like that. So her vocabulary is very broad for an almost 4-year-old. She's not even 4 yet. She still has, 3 or 4 months to go. So she's very bright, and I think this stuff is helping a lot. With that being said, you can't just use books, and you can't just use, like in my case, she has a tablet, she uses it, she watches videos on YouTube Kids, of colors and different languages. She loves watching Russian videos, and all different languages, but, and she has some Duolingo apps on there for like ABCs and stuff, which she loves. But, if you don't spend time with your child and you don't go over these books with your child and you just give them the book, they're not going to learn anything. So spending time with your child and, like I said, bringing them places and interacting with them at those places, not just like being the parent, okay, here, we're going to go to the Please Touch Museum. Go over there and do your thing and just sit there on your phone like I see a lot of these parents do. That's not going to help them. So please just be present with your child. Social media can wait. You making phone calls can wait unless it's honestly very necessary or very urgent. And yeah, I don't know. I'll have some more videos on here eventually. When I have my baby, I'm sure I'll have more than enough time to make videos. Currently, I've been at work and I've been going through a divorce. I'm almost at the end. I have a couple more weeks until my divorce is finalized. There's going to be some changes around here. I might have my daughter living back with me, and then I'm going to have my newborn baby in like 2 months, and I'll be out of work for a little bit, for like a couple weeks, and I'll go back, and that'll be a change. But yeah, so you'll see some more videos from me soon, and I hope that this video didn't feel rushed. I know I speak very fast. I get kind of nervous because I can't hear myself, and I don't have my hearing aids in, and I don't like to keep them in when I'm at home because this is my relaxing time, and I keep my hearing aids in for like over 12 hours a day. It's just very stimulating. It's a lot. So yeah, I hope this made sense. I'm Jess. This is the Yessie and Jessie channel. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on here on YouTube, where this is gonna go. I have TikTok. They're all the same name, Yessie and Jessie. My name on Facebook is Jess Estrada. I have a Pinterest where I share some of my adventures, some of my daughter's adventures, my art. I do crochet, things like that. I do little crafts, so you can follow me there. And I have a page that's on Milkshake, which I'm currently trying to transition to an actual website because Milkshake is just too small for my liking for all the stuff I do. But I have a page on Milkshake where it has all of these books actually, and the links on Amazon, which is perfect. So I will link that in this video as well in the description. But there's also other tools on there for toddler learning and activities and things like that, and also things that can make parenting easier around the house. Stuff for cats and stuff for adults, like around your house, furniture items. So check that out. And yeah, I hope this finds you guys well. Thank you, and I'll see you later. Bye.